What's up, AVI? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing the cost of ownership over long period of times that we've owned our vehicle. So like we're going to go over the gas we've used and the oil changes, maintenance, insurance, major repairs, maintenance like transmission or brakes or tires. So we're going to be going over that stuff today.
So Dave drives a 2016 Subaru Impreza, and I drive a 2015 Mustang EcoBoost. So we kind of give two different, import American kind of different costs. We both go to the dealer directly, so we kind of just we wanted to talk about, what the costs are of basically owning a Impreza or a Mustang. And I think it might surprise you, but let's get to it.
Yeah, so obviously going to a dealer, it's going to be a little more, so just so you know, I think most people go to like their local mom and pop kind of shop. So first things first, let's do gas because that's easy and that's like what we gotta pay for when we go around places, for your car. So gas, my car holds 12.5 gallons, 31 mpg for Subaru Impreza 2016. And for 5 years so far, I've spent about $7,200.
Okay. And in mine is a 15.5 gallon tank. Fun fact, the GT and the V6 is a 16 gallon tank. And the reason I think, let us know in the comments below if you know it's something else. But I believe it's 15.5 to improve EPA or MPG. Either
EPA,
one,
yes.
EPA, MPG, but they wanted to improve it a little bit more even, so they just took half a gallon off. So I have a 15.5 gallon tank. I'm averaging 25.3 miles per gallon, roughly. I know the overall city and highway score is 25, so it's spot on. And I drive a little bit more than Dave, and my car's a little bit worse on gas, so I spend about $200 a month for a total of $7,200 in the course of 3 years. So he was at $7,200 in the course of 5 years. So 2 more years, but I also fill up with the premium 93 octane.
Premium, regular, so it makes a difference, I guess. For if you're daily driving, it's pretty good numbers, I guess.
I think both are realistic. It's not like we're getting 5 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gas. Now we're going to talk about oil changes. We're going to talk about all the necessities that the car, gas, oil, things like that, tires, brakes, and then we'll talk about a little bit more of the mechanical things that have gone on with cars. So we'll start with the oil change. Mine, full synthetic oil change. It's called the works, meaning tire rotation, alignment check, and full synthetic oil change. With labor and parts is $75 in and out the door. And I typically get my oil changed 2 to 3 times a year. We'll say twice a year, just for the sake of easiness, I guess. And that's about $500 over the course of 3 years.
Yeah. So for me, at the dealer, they just do like a multi-point inspection on top of, that, and then they do the full synthetic with. They add like a gasket to the O-ring for the oil cap too. They call it a gasket.
Sounds like a ripoff to me.
Yeah, something. Gasket, and then your oil filter, stuff like that. So so all those parts and labor, it adds up to about $110, and for 2, you're getting it twice a year. No, twice in 1 year. Yep. So it's $220 per year. If you do that by 5, hold on there. I didn't do this part.
1,100.
Let's see. Yep. So for 5 years, $1,100 for 5 years. So, yeah.
Yeah. So once again, mine was $500 for 3 years, and yours was
$1,100
for 5
years.
So it's a little bit more expensive over the course.
How?
I'm not sure. It's the oil ring. That's what they get you there.
The gasket.
So next we can talk about. What do you want to talk about?
I want to go in order. So like my first major kind of change was the tires. Like for me, at the 45,000 mile mark, that's kind of my first most expensive service. So like Subaru has their Tires for Life program, so that kind of helped. It like took away $600 from the total. So in total, it was $936, but before that, the total was $1,536. So $1,000, $536. $1,536 for the
Not math major.
for the tires. But because I'm on the part of the Subaru Tires for Life program, we got a little discount. I don't know.
Is that a Colt?
I'm not sure how that works, but they make it sound like a Colt over there in the dealer. So I think if I went stock, if I went Yokohama's again, it would have been basically nothing. But because I chose the highest tire brand like Continentals, that brought up the price a bit. But still worth it because I'm still in the green for the treads. So definitely Continental's better than Yokohama. Got to give it to them.
So you have about 70-something thousand miles?
75,000.
75,000. I have 66,000. Probably should have mentioned that. But I bought my car used, and I've only replaced the tires once. My tires are a little bit bigger. They're 255/40 19s, and the recommended tire for mine in an all-season state like Connecticut is Pirelli P0 Neros, which happen to be pretty expensive.
It's all sporty.
It is pretty sporty. It's like the sportiest all-season tire
Sounds
you can
sticky.
get. And it's about $230 a piece. So when you get your tires replaced, it's about $1,200 with labor. They don't charge much for labor because it's you buy them directly from the dealership. Yeah, but it's about $1,200, and yours were $1,200, about the same.
Well, it's hard to explain with the Subaru thing.
Oh, the Colt.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it sounds similar. It sounds like the prices are relatively comparable
Yeah.
between Subaru and Ford.
I think mine are 205s with the width, and yeah, that's all I know. Really, the width. 205s, I know. he's got the steamrollers on. So yeah, brakes. At the 60,000 mile mark, I got my front pads replaced, and my rotors were resurfaced. So that's a fun fact, I guess. They resurfaced rotors. And for you, they replaced them.
Yeah, my cost was $537 for new pads and new rotors only on the rear. So it's kind of interesting that you had to replace your front brakes and I had to replace my rear brakes. But mine's rear wheel drive, so I guess it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, and I don't think I've replaced my rear brakes yet. But obviously, like when you brake, all the weight goes to the front anyways. So like I feel like all that. I don't know. I haven't had to do the rears.
If you guys know, put it in the comments.
Tell us the
below.
science over there. But yeah, so front brakes for me, 381, front pads replaced, resurfaced rotors. Yeah.
Cool. So once again, mine was $537 for new pads, new rotors in the rear.
Yes. So also at the 60,000 mile mark, it's when Subaru makes you they make you service the front and rear differential fluids, service the transfer case, and also get new spark plugs. So this was also a pretty hefty bill here at the dealer. The total was about $900 because at that time I also got the brakes done. So yeah, $900 for all that.
I also know that for Ford, at least my car is they do that same kind of service at 67,500 miles. I'm almost there. I'm trying to avoid it, but I expect it to be about $1,200. So maybe we'll do a follow-up video once I do get that done. But I expect it about to be a little bit more expensive because just because it's a little bit older, and a little bit more miles. So his is only at 6,000. Mine's at 67.
Is that why you want to sell your car?
If you want to buy my car at 20,000, let me know. Cars and bids.
It's not going to be serviced. Serviced. Frick. Okay. One more thing. At 70,000 miles, I had another kind of big service. They rotated the tires. Just kidding.
Wow.
No. So what they did was they did the transmission. They switched it out.
They switched out your transmission?
They switched out the transmission fluid. That was the total of that was
Typical CVT.
I don't know why, but the total was $645 for everything.
For the fluid? Didn't they do that in the 60,000 mile?
So that includes oil change, but also the CVT fluid, all the parts. Yeah, and the labor really. The labor alone was $230.
Wow.
$263. The parts were $270.
Wow.
But that includes the oil change too. So stuff like that.
Yeah. So those are basically the typical everyday brakes, tires. oil change, things like that. Now I want to talk about some of the things that I've had to replace, which some people might have to replace if they own the car, some people might not, depending. I have two things that were wrong with my car in the 3 years of ownership, so it's really nothing. The first thing is the passenger side heat went, so I was getting cold air out of the passenger side. So in wintertime it was pretty cold. Actually, it happened again. But the first time I fixed it, it's $300. So now I'm expecting another
Gotta
$300.
fix it again.
Yeah, I gotta fix it again.
Is it a dual climate?
It's dual climate control,
So
which makes it a
that's
little bit
the
more
problem.
expensive. And I'm hoping it's not the motor. We'll find out. If the whole motor went, it's gonna be a little bit more expensive. Obviously, a lot more expensive. But the first time they fixed it, it was $300. So now I'm expecting another $300 for that. And the second major thing was I had a check engine light come on for turbocharger overboost condition, which is an engine code. Not sure how that happened.
We might have to watch that GTI versus Mustang video to find out.
Oh, yeah. It was the next day after that, or the
It was
next
actually the next minute.
the next minute after
Mhm.
that race. And that, just for them to diagnose it, basically what happened is I drove it in, they confirmed that that was the code. I'm like, yeah, I have the code reader. And reset the light, drove it around, and said if everything was working as expected, and just turned off the light. And that cost me $250.
What?
Yeah. But,
Uh-oh.
I mean, for those two things, other than the typical maintenance, two things in almost 3 years is really not too bad for a sports car, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I think with me, 5 years that I've owned my car, I haven't really had any issues. I think that's kind of like the best part about being NA or naturally aspirated for the four banger. I mean, you don't
Can't
have
relate.
you don't have the turbo issue with the swallowing too much, the pocket of air or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know, that 5 years, and also if you maintain your car pretty well, bring it to the dealer, get it serviced on time before your 6,000 mile mark.
Yeah, don't wait 6,000, 8,000 miles. Get it done. If you have full synthetic, 6,000 is okay, but try to get it done as early as possible.
Yeah, and I think that helped me, not have any issues, so that was good on my part.
And I guess last part, we also have a whole video on insurance. If you want to see that, click the pop-out banner over there.
If you want to, check it out more in depth, check out that video to find out more about how much we pay.
So if now we'll take all of the costs of ownership, gas, insurance, maintenance, oil changes, all of that, and kind of give you a ballpark. For 3 years, my cost was $15,747, and that's it's exactly $5,249 a year for cost of ownership, including insurance, gas, and all maintenance.
So for the 5 years, all the service, gas, oil change, insurance, tires, brakes, for 5 years adds up to $14,441 for 5 years. Divide that by 5, and you get $2,888 per year. So $2,888 compared to $5,000?
$5,249.
Yeah, right.
So it's cheaper, but also more expensive to insure a Mustang. Click that link for the full video of insurance, and more expensive to fuel the Mustang with premium and getting a little bit worse gas mileage.
Yeah, so over time, I guess if you didn't want to have fun and all that stuff, over time, maybe the Impreza might be the best investment for you, but, Mustang's also not bad either. It's,
You can do some burnouts.
yeah, burnouts. You can hear the turbo squeal, so that's good. So,
But yeah, so this is another finance video. If you guys want to see more content like this, or have any suggestions, put them in the comment section below.
yes, please.
And make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Support us, please.
Road to 200.
Road to 200. Yeah, we're on 117. We've been stuck there a little bit. So.
Plateauing. But you guys can get us up there.
And just like that, AVI out.
Get